Hi there, Jonathan with you once again, and now we're on Tuesday, the 2nd of December, just starting into our fourth month on this journey to 240k. So today is the first of the days where we're going to look at some of the overview numbers. So we've now been on this journey for just over 3 months, so it's time to really sort of dig in, understand the metrics, understand what the trends are, what's been happening, and how we can actually hopefully take or gain some insights from this data to help us move forward and really sort of understand our numbers and where we can go with things. So this has been going to be a bit of a dig into things for me as well, because obviously the numbers, some of them look better than others. So just as a quick catch up before I get into those, was a catch up on yesterday. Ended up being 550 in sales, rather disappointing day, and our ads were at 561, meaning 560. Sorry, lost $16, which is a bit of a not a good place to be. But as I say, we're just dealing with still the Black Friday, Cyber Monday situation, and we'll see how things pan out. But so it's 12 o'clock, just gone midday. Today is definitely somewhat better. If I could only see what it was. Today's number is 863 at midday. So hopefully we're going to see a good solid bounce back today, and get us nudging some profit numbers in, because obviously we've got ad spends quite high at the moment, and if we're not making those profits, it's damaging the overall picture. So let's take a look at it. So what I'm going to start by doing is today we're just going to do some of the bigger picture overview stuff, and then tomorrow and probably the day after, we're going to get into the details of what aspects of the funnel are working, where we really need to make some sort of changes, and what things generating the profit, and really sort of dig into what we are learning from these numbers. But let's start with the bigger picture of it, which is basically this view of the overall 3 months. So if I start by here, this is something I've shown you before, which was really my sort of top line. Let me just zoom out on that a little bit. Which was my top line picture of really what's the overall journey and how am I progressing towards that journey. So I've now added a little graph in there as well to try and highlight exactly what's going on. So this is more just the trend line of things, and then I'll show you the details of some of the numbers. So basically, as a start point, this was 3 months in then. Our overall target here is 240k. Our overall profit target is 120k. So what I really want to be doing is, my goal is to make sure that really for every pound or dollar I'm spending on ads, I'm getting twice of that back. So I want to try and get this gross margin down to up to 120,000. So bear in mind, after costs and things like that, I'll probably be making around 100k from the funnel. Okay, so this is what's now then tracking the sales to date over the 3 months. So over the 3 months, we've clocked nearly $70,000 in sales. This is how far we've got left to go out of our 240k, and this is our percentage to target. So obviously, as we're 3 months in, this should be 25%. Anything over 25% is good. So in terms of sales, yeah, we're a bit ahead. But obviously that's not really what's important. What's important is actually the profit figure. It's actually what we're getting out of it at the end of the day. So our profit over the 3 months is 25,000 so far. Our profit left, what we need to still earn, and the percentage we've gone on that journey. So actually we're at 20%. So we're down with this. We wanted this figure. These figures should both be hovering around the 25%. I'm not sure. I'm not worried about the sales one, but this is the important one. This one needs to be, that percentage profit needs to be about 25%. And you can see that's reflected into this graph here. This is our sales line and this is the profit line. Not looking good. These should be tracking each other. So obviously in our first month, I think we probably just got off to a very good, a very fortunate start. So we saw some high sales in that first month and a lot lower ad costs. So on what we've seen as we've started to scale things up a little bit, it's not tracked as we should or would want to do. But you know, like all these things, there are different things that are happening because, as you know, we've been doing a lot of split tests on it, and you know, as I've said before, there is a cost to doing testing. Primarily because, you know, quite a few split tests won't necessarily work or won't necessarily be improvements. They'll be the opposite. So, you know, I think early on when you're building funnels and you're getting started, the more chances are you're going to be able to improve things easier and faster. The more your funnel gets optimized, obviously the harder it is to start to eke out those extra percentages. But that's what we really are focused on trying to do. So let's have a look at the detail of actually what went on. So we've broken down September, October, and this is November. So I've presented the figures slightly differently in November because actually in September and October we just had the one funnel, but in November obviously we started the whole beginner's funnel. And you know, obviously we know, as say, starting a brand new funnel is going to impact our numbers, and basically, you know, that it's not only the cost of split testing, the cost of actually starting a new funnel, because you know, pretty much most sales funnels will start won't be making profits from day one. Generally they will be making a loss of varying degrees, and it's only through then the optimization that you start to make some improvements and start to see some changes. So let's look at this in a bit more detail. The RIFs funnel here, over the course of the whole month, we gained 339 customers, which were, if we compare it to last month, was 340, so pretty much exactly the same. The ad spend on that particular funnel is pretty much the same. And yeah, the ad spend is well, it's actually slightly less on the RIFs this month. But the front end sales were down. So front end sales last month were 20,000. It was down to 18,000, and there was less in the back end sales as well. So if we look at the other things, is the CPA, customer acquisition. Well, that was pretty much $1 better off, but the average order value was down a bit from the previous month, and all those have got to impact profits. But obviously the biggest thing that's really impacted profits here is this additional ad spend on this new funnel. So you know, we've spent $2,200 and actually made a loss of $283 in the month on that funnel. So you know, that's what's probably shown as the biggest hit and the dip down when we look at these numbers here. is that sort of loss. Whereas, if we've been spending the same amount of money probably on the other funnel, it would have held a profit. So, that's one of the big sort of reasons for that. The other impact really has been in terms of some of the conversions, and as we've said, we've seen some a slightly lower quality, lower value purchases, so less people buying the upsells, that sort of thing. But I'll go into the detail of that probably tomorrow when we'll see exactly what has happened in those funnels, again compared to last month. And some of that has been the last minute, well, probably over the last 2 weeks since a lot of the pre-Black Friday and Black Friday things have come in. We've seen conversions go down and average order values go down. So, that's part of the picture. And the main thing is that actually we can make sense of the numbers and actually understand what's happened, why it's happened, and how that might change things. So I say here's the big difference here in those things. Now, that's a $2,000 drop in profit. And that's because obviously we've got the ad spend without making money on it. So if I had spent all the budget on the riffs, we probably would have held up on the profit side okay. But obviously we've had this spend on the my second funnel, which is yet to, well, I think it probably just about has broken into profit in the last week or so. It's still on a sort of fine line, but obviously over the month the cost per acquisition was $75. That's because very early on we didn't really have any back end or anything like that. We were just running offers to a front end, didn't even have an order bump on it, so cost per customer acquisition was a lot higher. The good news bit we have got a bit of good news, is the fact that the actual average order value from this second funnel is $51. So that is a good sign. So hopefully that's something we can start to work on and see some changes in December. And the other thing is, hopefully now we're out of this learning phase with this second funnel. We should see a bit more stability, and hopefully start to see some profits coming through from this second funnel. But we won't really be able to fully test that and assess that until the end of December. But if we look at the LTV, lifetime value over a 60-day period, that's taken a very slight sort of dip, not much difference there. And then we've got what experiments and tests we've run in this month. So we started off by split testing the riff offer, the single package versus the 3 volumes, and we're coming to the end of that test really now, so I'll probably get around to doing that this week. We'll have a look at the numbers and close that one off. We did do actually, what I haven't listed here, we did do the opt-in. Oh, actually no, we did a split test on the organic opt-in there in October, but we'll probably be closing that one off this month as well. So what we did, yes, one of the tests is we managed to get round to adding in an order bump. So I'm going to be having a look at that this month. I'm going to have a look at what percentage uptake there is on that order bump and see how that compares to my other funnel, to see if we can optimize that. We also built out some upsells and downsells. So that wasn't really till the probably at least halfway through the month that we actually had the funnel actually built out. So that's not really had a chance to kick in. We had the aborted Google Ads test set up, got nowhere, and so parked it, but probably be coming back to that, I don't know, maybe in December, maybe push that till January. We'll see. Then another test we started to do was introducing actually me into a video as the average guitarist and making a connection. And that, on the face of it, seems to be working well. Basically, I just need to shoot a lot more ads. So I'm going to try and shoot some of those this week to pile that into the campaign. And the final thing is we ran a carousel. Now, the carousel struggled to get much traffic. If we have a look just at that just for a second. So this is, as you can see, it's not really getting any reach at all. So I'm thinking that whereas it was all the pack shot, that's actually moved. But if we look at over the month, let's have a look at last 28 days. Let's try that. Yeah, you can see by comparison, these pack shot and these static images are getting all the traffic, followed by those two videos. So I'm not quite sure why the carousel is not really getting much engagement at all. So what I'm going to do, one of the things I'm going to do is swap that carousel or add another carousel in where I've got a video on the front end to see if I can do that. So yeah, as you can see, pretty much all the purchases have come from the the pack shot side of things, and some on the static image. So so yes, more to be done on the ads side of that, and press ahead. So really, you know, that's where we're at. Clearly, you know, clearly it's not. I don't consider it being in a good position during the last month, but there are circumstances that do account for that to a certain extent. I think there's definitely a case of we need to do more work. We need to get this second funnel actually working better and in good shape, get some more ads together, and really start to turn things around a little bit more and try and get this percentage back up again. See this reversing out of this dip by comparison to sales. So that's what we're doing. So I say tomorrow I'm going to try and get a bit more into the detail of what happened within each funnel, just so I can be comfortable in terms of knowing what these numbers mean, and check there aren't any other things that I'm missing that could be really damaging the numbers. Okay, so I hope that was useful. If you've got any questions, just let me know, and I'll look forward to catching up with you tomorrow. Okay, bye for now.